happening? All right, it is me again. It is Kelly from the future. I did not do a great job at narrating my day 0 and day 1 of my start to the Pacific Crest Trail because there were so many things going on. I had to move out of my apartment that day and jump on a plane, and it was it was so many logistics. It was so stressful, but I knew that it was going to be okay once I got on the plane and headed to San Diego. So I get on the plane, I go to San Diego, and I had booked a ride on the PCT Southern Terminus, which is run by Paul and Dee, and they run Camp Lockett, which is also called the CLEEF Campground, which I believe stands for Camp Lockett Event and Equestrian Facility. I think that's it. And the shuttle was like $70, and I would absolutely say it was worth every penny. There are public transportation options to get from the San Diego airport to Campo, but this was really great because you got to take the shuttle with these other hikers. And a lot of the hikers that I was on the shuttle with had like a bunch of AT experience, and it was just really cool to hear their stories. And the shuttle also took us to like an REI, it took us to a grocery store, and just these little errands along the way that if we had to pick anything up or get anything before we headed out, that was super helpful. And then that night, we camped at their campground. They had some spaces, some flat spaces that we could all set up our tents. I would say there was probably like 25 of us, maybe. There was quite a lot of us there. And they have these fireside talks where Paul and Dee and some other people who are also running the facility, they gave us the most invaluable advice that I could say was so helpful. They taught us how to pack our bags correctly. And for someone like me who has backpacking experience but not through hiking experience, I had brought way too much stuff, and there was going to be no way that I could carry that. I think the first time I weighed my pack, it was over 40 pounds, and there was no way I was going to be able to walk with that. So they teach you how to pack your bags, how to know how much food you're going to need and how to calculate that out, and how to know how much water you're going to need. They gave us tips on how to hitchhike, which I haven't done yet, and I'm a little nervous, but they gave really good tips. The information was so valuable that I would absolutely recommend it. You do have to book it in advance, but it was really valuable, and it was a really good experience from there. So you can walk from the campground. The campground itself is about 0.7 miles to the Southern Terminus. Wake up in the morning, they have breakfast there, you eat your breakfast, and then you can pack your stuff up and you can walk down to the Southern Terminus. And there was somebody there checking our permits, and we got our little bag tags. I know that this is a shorter video, but I do want to call out that it was a really positive experience, and I think the trail would have been so much more difficult without the knowledge that they gave us. And it was also really helpful to meet other hikers as well, just to socialize. And everybody's kind of nervous. It's sort of like the first day of school a little bit. And there's so many other people there who also, may or may not have left their jobs, or they might not have a house or an apartment to go back to because they, had to get rid of all their stuff or put it in storage. Or there were so many international hikers as well, which I think is really brave, because I have my mom sending me all these boxes from here in the US, but there are people who have to do an additional level of logistics just to figure that out. So I thought that was really cool. I met a lot of really great people, and I would definitely recommend it. So that's my story of day 0. Have a nice day.